Kuch Kuch Hota Hai just felt like the cooler filler. My dad is like, stop it, I'll leave you on the street over here.
It took me quite a few years, you know, to work through all of the insecurities and the questions.
When I saw Family Man, I was like, man, this is so cool. Manoj Bajpayee looks so cool. Sam looks so cool. How do I get into this? How do I work with these guys?
Somehow we are still in the past. Only lately has there been a shift in representation, and I think that this is a welcome change.
Varun, I really like how the titles of two of your next projects, including this one, are such endearing names, right? Like Honey Bunny and Baby John. What you're doing in those are anything but cutesy. What is this reinvention of Varun Dhawan like?
I think it's just a side effect of working with Samantha Prabhu.
You know,
And
this is
having
actually such
the
a nice question,
drinks
and
that
I was
she's
looking
giving.
forward to your answer to this.
But you should have not given me this to drink.
It
No,
does
it's
feel
just-
like, stop, it's just vitamin C, guys, before you all
It is. No, so honestly, there's no I wish it was something strategic. But honestly, there's only so much you can control in the world. You can't. Things are out of your control. But these are things I wanted to happen. I wanted to do action. I wanted to do masala action. I wanted to do commercial action. I wanted to do action which was in the Raj and DK universe. You know? These are things I wished for. Like when I saw Family Man, I was like, man, this is so cool. Manoj Bajpayee looks so cool. Sam looks so cool. How do I get into this? How do I work with these guys? So I think just stalking them worked. I think I just put it out there. And I think the titles, the fact that I myself have my own girl child now, all these things are just a weird coincidence, honestly. It's just, I'm hoping the universe is conspiring to make all this something more special.
But you know, Raj and DK and of course Sita, what is it like meeting the Russo brothers? And I think you mentioned the writing room, and you mentioned that the writer's room was so big and the tables here are shorter. But truly, if you can place us there, what was it like meeting the Russo brothers, and what did sort of it lead to?
I mean, for the most part, their whole pitch to us was make something that's in your voice, your own kind of a thing. So while it's supposed to be part of the universe, they really didn't want us to. It wasn't really required for us to make a show that looks like theirs or feels like theirs or very closely connected to theirs. They were like, feel free to make whatever you want, just be aware this is the universe we are in. And we were like, okay. And then, you know, Raj, Sita and we were all sitting and discussing, and Sita was coming up with a few ideas on what, like a concept of what it could be. So that's all we had. We went with a one-line concept to meet the Russo brothers in LA and just pitched it. And they were like, oh, it sounds interesting, sounds great, let's take it forward from here. And any quirks that seem to be your style, you can go ahead and put it in. Don't feel like it needs to look like the American Citadel, was their most overriding brief.
Had they seen some of your works? I mean, were they familiar with, say, a Family Man?
I think they had watched the Family Man season 1 ka edit. It hadn't released yet. And they had watched 3.
Oh.
And they had watched something else like Shore in the City, I'm not sure. So they had sampled it.
Interesting.
That's what I realized later. And Amazon, I think, had shared them the edits because they were really looking to do it. And so it hadn't released yet. So yeah, it was good. It was very good that they're saying keep your voice, keep your style, because that's what we want.
Yeah.
But then we still had to fit in their universe. That was the a little bit of balancing act we had to do with this.
You know, I'm still picturing Russo brothers watching Stree. I think it would be quite a sight.
I just pictured that as well. Russo brothers watching Stree.
They had a different name for it.
Yes. You know, with Samantha, I think at the press con you said something wonderful, that what Citadel as a franchise sort of, or a universe does, it gives women the power to kick some asses, right? And it's not just the hero saving the day and the girl, it's also the women doing it. What is it like? And I remember when Priyanka Chopra had done Citadel 1, like the US one, she had said that it's about time. What is it empowering to sort of play a character like this at this stage of your career?
It is very empowering. I feel a little more responsible now at this stage of my career for the roles that I'm picking. I want them to represent women in society more often than not. The roles that the characters in films are misrepresentation of the women in society. Like women today are world leaders, they are change makers, they are they multitask, they have changed preconceived notions, and I think that somehow we are still in the past. Only lately has there been a shift in representation, and I think that this is a welcome change, that this universe, the Citadel universe, and the fact that it has strong female characters is a very welcome change.
Right, right. Sita, if you can tell me, I think you said something wonderful about how you approach this one as trying to figure out what's the story of James Bond's parents, right? And I thought that's a very interesting way to. What is it like building this world? And if you can talk about the three of you, in fact, the traditional quirky Raj and DK humor. I know you don't really like the word quirk so much because it's associated with the three of you a lot. But what is it like building this world with the humor intact, and of course Russo brothers sort of overlooking everything?
So I think the three of us go back a long way. So we have a groove in terms of how we approach story, approach scenes, approach the craft of filmmaking as well. I've learned tons from them. I've literally been groomed by them. So it just so happens that I'm happily on the same page as them. So writing this particular project has not been such a difference from what we've always been doing. However, the fact that it's a world collaborative project, and we are masters of collaboration because the three of us have collaborated all our lives.
Yeah.
I'm just being facetious.
Yeah.
What I meant to say is that this has been such a wonderfully collaborative process across the world. We've got to learn, at least I have learned how people outside our country approach filmmaking, approach writing, approach character and story. So that itself has been so enriching.
Right. But Raj and DK, is there a difference when you mount a project which comes originally from you, let's say a Shore or a 99 or even like a Family Man, as opposed to when it is, say, like a commission sort of a project such as this one? Does things change in terms of writing?
Normally it would. I mean, obviously, right? If somebody says, okay, let's make a movie about this or something like that, about this subject or this character or something like that, then, or this kind of film, you're trying to mount it, you're trying to fit to the parameters, so normally it would impact. But in this case, like I was telling you, right, we just knew we had to make a good action series with a good story and good characters that fits into the universe. So for us, the shackles were not that many. So this would have been an indigenous film as well. Like she had this idea of this character, with the past and the child and everything, and we kind of built it from there. I mean, it was easy enough for us to have the story, build it up, and fit it into the universe of Citadel. And
did you write it first as a standalone and then connect it, or it was always
no? The
written to be
concept was
connected?
the concept was a standalone
it's a very
concept.
complicated journey in this one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I said, every single thing we have done so far is an original idea from us, right? Only then we know how far to take it, because we play with humor, we play with reality, and sometimes I even hit a spoof button in a Gone a little bit. It's a very measured ideas approach for most of our stories.
Yeah.
The difference in this case is it's not a commission project. What happens in commission is there is a book, there is a novel, there is an adaptation, there is a certain boundary already set saying do this. Right. I think we got a freedom saying that because we said, can we do 90s? Okay, so we could have done a 2024 film series with some connection to Nadia or something and done parallelly.
Right.
But what we realized, it took us two, three iterations as to what we should do, is that we had the whole idea was, what if we get away from tech? So because we have all of lot of films and series and all very high tech, right? So we don't do holograms. Let's no gadgets, no crazy comms that you can talk anywhere in the world or hacking. Take out all that. Give them guns. Let them use their fists. And just one comm is enough. Wow, this is so clear. That's a max. Or a pager. Wow, he got a pager.
Yeah.
Keep that humor. Keep that little thing tech to that level. Or oh my God, 1 gigabyte of data. How do I read it? All that.
Yeah.
But keep it raw, real. And when you have actors who can do their own action, and I can now shoot it more convincingly. That in edits, when you're seeing punches and kicks, it's somebody else. It's somebody else. Mentally, everybody's aware.
Yeah.
When I see Varun and Samantha shooting and doing themselves, and we don't cut it, we capture all these. So we thought, let's go to brick and, like a blood and sweat kind of an action thing.
Yeah.
And about the part of it, it is a little different than completely originating a brand new story, like whatever we're going to make next, or movie or a series we have next. The concept itself will be very our own.
Right.
That's the only difference. The concept was theirs, the building was ours.
Right. Wonderfully put. Wonderful. Samantha, I was wondering while watching the trailer, is that, in the initial years of your career, let's say when you started in 2010, if I'm not wrong, was there always a desire to do something like this, more heavy duty stuff, but perhaps there was just no space back then, that it's now coming out like this?
When you start off, like especially since I didn't even know that I wanted to be an actor, I always wanted to study. So just finding my space in this big world it took me quite a few years. To work through all of the insecurities and the questions, am I good enough, am I not? It's this question and asking if I'm ready to take on more heavy duty stuff, that didn't even occur to me until a few years back. Until then, I was still trying to cement my position. In fact, it takes you a while.
Yeah.
It takes you I would say like the last couple of years of my career has been the calmest and the most I'm able to actually make logical, practical, creative decisions without all the demons in my head playing games,
Yeah.
So I am actually jealous of actors who are way more rooted and who know what they want and know themselves really well early on in their career. I'm very jealous of that kind of actor.
Yeah.